Prime Minister Narendra Modi has pushed hard for police reforms in his maiden address at the DGP conference in Guwahati. Pitching strongly for welfare of those in khaki, Modi stressed on the need to make the force friendlier and improve its image. But the highlight probably was the SMART acronym for a futuristic smart police vision. Day 2 of the first ever DGP conference outside the national capital, and it was Prime Minister's turn to speak. A day after, Home Minister raised the terror bogey. Against all expectations, the Prime Minister focused on police reforms.
The big takeaway from this DG conference is that there are many firsts attached to it, with the Prime Minister himself staying clearly away from talking on terror and focusing more on boosting the morale of the men in uniform. The 49 DG conference will be remembered for its dynamism, freshness and trademark Modi style.
33,000 बलिदान व्यर्थ नहीं जाने चाहिए। समाज में उनके प्रति सम्मान कैसे बढ़े? वो भी तो किसी मां का लाल था और ड्यूटी के लिए मरा है वो। अगर उसके परिवार में सुख और संतोष शांति नहीं होगा तो वो ड्यूटी नहीं कर पाएगा। वो कितना ही त्यागी, तपस्वी, बलिदानी अफसर होगा तो भी परिवार की बेचैनी उसको बेचैन बनाती है कि हम पुलिस परिवार के वेलफेयर के लिए कोई सिस्टमैटिक व्यवस्थाएं विकसित कर सकते हैं क्या? कि मूवी ने पता नहीं पुलिस को ऐसा पेंट करके रखा हुआ है। मैंने अभी बहुत कम ऐसी मूवी देखी कि जहां पुलिस के त्याग और तपस्या की कोई कथा आई हो और उसके कारण जनमानस पर ऐसी छवि बन गई है। हमने स्पेशली एफर्ट्स करने चाहिए।
And though reserved for the end, it was Modi's vision for a futuristic police. Probably the most interesting part of the speech was a push for smart police. The Prime Minister went back on to break up the word smart, making it an acronym for a police force he dreams of.
रक्षा के क्षेत्र में सुरक्षा के विषय पर सर्वाधिक महत्वपूर्ण कोई इकाई होती है तो वो होता है गुप्तचर तंत्र।
The vision attracting skepticism and appreciation in equal measure.
देश के अंदर सिर्फ पुलिस रिफॉर्म नहीं, बहुत रिफॉर्म की ज़रूरत है। जुडिशल रिफॉर्म की बहुत सख्त ज़रूरत है। जुडिशल रिफॉर्म होना चाहिए, पुलिस का रिफॉर्म होना चाहिए, ब्यूरोक्रेसी का रिफॉर्म होना चाहिए।
Intelligence agencies in such things, cannot, find all sorts of information. You don't know when individual become a jihadi, So there is a need to combat, the people should be involved,
Meanwhile, more serious talks are happening behind closed doors. Talks focusing on attempts by ISIS and Al-Qaeda to recruit Indian youth and security measures for the Northeast. The conference, interestingly, is a bunch of firsts, from being first outside of Delhi to the presence of chief ministers of the 7 northeastern states, to an informal meeting between the Prime Minister and the top cops after his address. With Moshmi Singh, Bureau Report, Headlines Today. Well, Mukesh Meena, he's a joint police commissioner, of course, in Delhi. He spoke on what the Prime Minister had to say about the police reforms, and this is what he spoke to Headlines Today about.
Yes, I agree. Movies, they are showing the various acts of police, which I have not seen in service that that kind of act policemen are doing. Only few movies are doing showing good job. Others are poorly reflecting police image. That has to be stopped immediately. And police, these producers, they should be responsible enough to project really good work done by police.
Well, Prime Minister Narendra Modi has stirred up a big debate as far as what he said about the film industry, the movies painting the cops in bad picture. Let me go across now to discuss more on this through Dr. Ajay Roy. He's a former IPS officer, also spokesperson of the Congress Party. Mr. Kumar, my first question to you, do you agree that the Bollywood has been particularly harsh on the police services?
No, I heard what the Prime Minister has been saying, and I'm very disappointed because it's the perspective of just having an event management kind of way to resolve the deeper issues. The movie industry is just a reflection. It has got artistic freedom. It also reflects what's happening in the real world. And so if you expect them not to show what is actually happening, there are lots of good police stories. Yes, some good police officers, but by and large, if you look at it,
It seems that we have lost that line. There is some problem, technical problem as far as that line with Mr. Ajay Kumar is concerned. We'll go back to him. But yes, a big debate, and also a lot of people are talking about this smart police funda that the Prime Minister, in fact, gave at the DGP conference in Guwahati. That's the future, the vision that the Prime Minister gave about how he would want the police in the country to be. How much of that can be done on the ground? Of course, a lot needs to be done. Police reforms is something that has been spoken about for a very long time, but it seems that none of the political parties, whosoever has been in power, there has not been much forward movement as far as police reforms are concerned. There are problems of almost unending hours for the cops on the beat, for the people, those who have been guarding our cities. Inadequate training, the lack of resources and equipment. All this has, of course, affected the morale of the Indian police services and the cops, those who you and me interact with on a daily basis. Also, a big question about politicization of the police. Police being used by various political parties and especially the people in power to push their own agenda. So a lot of debate, of course, being stirred by what the Prime Minister has said, but hopefully as the policemen across and the former cops also are welcoming the smart police initiative, that is something that now at least there's something to look forward to. Okay, Mr. Ajay Kumar is back again with us. Dr. Kumar, yes, you were making a point about the image of the policemen. Has that been sullied? Because, even as far as I remember, most of the time Bollywood movies have only shown police late, coming after some sort of a crime has been done, and mostly corrupt officers.
Look, I don't blame, the Bollywood because of the Hindi film industry, any film industry, because it's a reflection of what happens in society. I think the Prime Minister's speech is disappointing because it's like, again, trying to manage, your perception. The issues are much deeper. Police reforms, and, you were talking about something like smart police. These are acronyms which mean nothing. The smart police is, if I remember in Calcutta police, all their, barricades have got that kind of stuff. So making intelligent, interesting acronyms, making some quotes, it doesn't change the basic issue. So he failed to address the basic issues of policing, and that is what scares me. That everything is
Dr. Kumar, you of course are a former IPS officer yourself, having served in the police services, also part of a political party. What has stopped the political parties to get that big push as far as police reforms are concerned? This is not the first time that is being spoken about. Okay, there have been committees after committees that have given their report, and it has been pending for a very long time.
So, so let me call spade a spade. Now, one of the biggest stumbling block to the police reform is the Indian Administrative Service lobby. Now, I know it's going to create a honest rest, but the problem is that the Indian Administrative Service doesn't want to let go. And because they think that it increases their sense of, personal aggrandizement, control over the, the Indian police service, etc., not realizing that the policies in this country are decided because of certain vested interests, whether it's political, bureaucratic, wants to keep a control and doesn't want to let the police to reform. Mr. Prakash Singh has been, the former DG of CRPF has been fighting. So that is what the issue is in this country. Vested interests not letting reforms happen. So politicians want to, but they don't have the seriousness to do it, or they get misguided. The IAS lobby just doesn't want that to happen. And that is the, I had in the previous discussion, a lot of IPS officers, previous IPS officers, retired IPS officers speaking. But it's high time we call spade a spade. that the Indian administrative service will not let the police reforms push, and the police reforms is good for the country.
Is it just the only tumbling block is the IAS lobby, or
Absolutely.
it is also the will of the politicians?
No, I'll tell you something very interesting. You see the police commissioner system. I come from Jamshedpur. There should have been a police commissionerate system across in any city with 10 lakh population, over 1 million. They won't happen because the supremacy of the deputy commissioner over the supra police, all ego issues which just doesn't matter for the country. I mean, I'm least interested whether the IAS feels more powerful by controlling the IPS.
Yeah.
But the most important part is that what is good for this country. But that is secondary. So they will push issues, they will camouflage it, and they will try to give it a different color. So I would like to, through your channel, call spade a spade and say, look, the politicians don't have the intellectual rigor to sit on the table and debate this issue. The IAS lobby wants to make sure this doesn't get put because it gives them a sense of power. But forget the IAS lobby. What's good for the country? Yeah? The good for the country is making the police friendly, transparent, accountable.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And it's never going to happen. It's never going to happen till the politicians realize that the IAS lobby, and I'm saying it because I've been in the Indian police service. I resigned over 20 years back, 15 years back. But I feel very passionately because it is politicians want to do it but don't have the mental rigor. The IAS is very united in ensuring, and Mr. People like Prakash Singh
and despite all this talk of welfare, it's your beat constable, it's the people, those who have been put on the line. They are the ones, those who are suffering. It's them who are actually suffering, and then of course it affects the quality of policing. So very quickly, I would also like to know, why do we see these extremes in the movie? Either it would be a Singham sort of a cop who is going to come and go out of the system, will be almost a superhuman, or it would be an absolutely corrupt police official who doesn't want to do anything. Why extremes?
Because the police system is so bad based on the present, because of lack of reforms, that you have to have heroes like Singham in real life. You need guys who take extraordinary risk, and the other guys who are not accountable, because the system ensures that there are few minuscule breed of people, police officers, who want to risk their lives and succeed under any condition. And by and large, they are corrupt guys who
I'm completely out of time, sir. I will, in fact, have to stop you there. But very interesting debating this police reform and hoping that, of course, this is something that is being taken not only seriously by the political parties, but as our expert was saying, by the IAS lobby as well. In fact, it was a day of political muscle flexing by the BJP. That it was in fact at a rally at the Indira Gandhi Stadium to energize the BJP's cadre in Guwahati. This after the morning was spent attending the annual DGP and IGP conference in the city. Addressing the issue of safety of Assam, Narendra Modi said he would ensure that Bangladeshi immigrants do not create trouble in the state. Modi also sought people's consent for an India-Bangladesh land swap deal, which he said will benefit Assam in the long run and stop illegal infiltration into the state. Claiming he was aware of the problems of the state, Prime Minister assured the BJP workers there would not compromise with safety of the state. The land swap agreement was signed in principle by India and Bangladesh in September 2011. It involved swapping the boroughs with majority population belonging to each other. While India was to receive 51 enclaves of the 7,110 acres, Bangladesh will get 111 enclaves measuring over 17,000 acres.
हम देश का हित देख करके ही आगे बढ़ेंगे। हम आतंकवादी हित देख करके आगे बढ़ेंगे। मैं भी आपको बताऊंगा कि जिसके कारण आपको बांग्लादेश से आने वाले आसाम को आतंकित तबाह कर रहे हैं, वो रास्ते बंद करके रखूंगा। हम सबको हमारे राष्ट्रीय अध्यक्ष ने सदस्यता अभियान का दायित्व दिया और टेक्नोलॉजी का भरपूर उपयोग करके दिया है। भारतीय जनता पार्टी के मेंबर बनने के लिए अप्लाई करना होता है। आप सब काम तो कर रहे हो और जो कर रहे हो, यहाँ आया हुआ एक कार्यकर्ता और 2 लोगों को आने वाले दिनों में निश्चित करवाएगा, पक्का कर लेंगे। हमारे राष्ट्रीय अध्यक्ष ने जो तय किया है उसे पूरा करना हम सबकी जिम्मेवारी है।